Hello, my leisure activity is sports video games. The true first sports video game was introduced in 1987, according to Corey Nachman in a 2011 article. And I'm going to show you quick here on the screen a picture of it. As you can see, the grass is look, it's interesting. I mean, it kind of looks more like carpet, and the dirt. I don't even know how to describe it. Just kind of looks like clay, and it looks more like a 2D plane. Um, I have to give it credit for its time. This was very, very advanced. Um, on the bottom, it shows the miles per hour, and it also has the count and what inning it is, how many outs. It also has the scoreboard of the game. The right hand side, it has the diamond as a whole, and I think during the play it shows you kind of what's going on, where the players are going, which that is incredible. I think that's absolutely outstanding. But I'm going to kind of show you on the right hand side the 2018 version of the baseball game. As you can see that the dirt is very authentic. You can look at the batter's box where the chalk is, and like the dirt is over top of it. That's just outstanding what they've been able to do. You can even kind of see the texture on the leg of the batter. And I just think it's incredible, like how the stadium looks. You have the foul lines, everything looks beautiful. They even have the grass matched of how in real life how the grass looks with the mow lines. I just think that is incredible. But it's just such a big difference from the old game versus the new game. And like I'm lucky to be able to play such a beautiful game, but I also need to appreciate the game that came before it. Now, this game, and on the left anyway, was created by Electronic Arts, which is a huge sports video game powerhouse to this game. To this day, they have NHL, which is hockey, and Madden, which is football. They kind of ditched the baseball series and left that to San Diego Studios. Now, this activity is not new. I mean, kids have been playing it for years, and I mean, it's not a new activity, but it's kind of shifting. Now, that's the interesting part of it, because more adults are starting to play, not only just because they played it as kids, but now as they're adults, some of them are making careers out of it. It is crazy to think that playing video games, you could be earning money. Now, there are YouTube creators and pro gamers that make money off of playing in front of a live audience, right? And the way that it's even possible for this to happen is that they have advertisements being displayed before their videos, because there are so many people that are starting to get on this craze of sports video games or any other type of video games. Now, it's so big that there are even leagues for these sports gamers that you can make $35,000 a season, which is only 6 months for the video game period. And this is according to Brian Mays in a 2018 article. Now, I'm not on the same level as these guys, but I played my fair share of video games. I got started at the age of 7 because my dad thought it'd be good for me to learn sports video games virtually on top of me going to practices, because it kind of taught me the X's and O's, as they say, of like playing games, and it's outstanding like how much I learned from it. And my first game here I will show was a game called Madden '06. It was a football game because I was a big football guy. Okay, now there's the cover of it, Donovan McNabb, and I did not understand how to play it. It made me so frustrated that I even cried. I'm not proud of that, but I did. Okay. But however, I kept practicing, I improved, and this soon became one of my favorite leisure activities. Now, I believe this activity is leisure to me because it allows me to do what I love, and that is to take over a team and customize it how I want so I can run this team. My dream is to manage an NFL franchise, and video games kind of allows me to do this. I mean, it can make my dream come true, sort of. there are games such as NBA 2K, which is basketball, MLB The Show, which is baseball, and Madden, which is football. This gives me the opportunity to operate a team, and it kind of has real life aspects to it. Now I can show you another screenshot here. We have like this kind of owner interactions. It shows you speaking with the owner, or if you wanted to become the owner, it kind of gives you that option. But this game goes so much deeper than you would think. You can manage player finances, manage their morales. You can build new stadiums, set prices for like hot dogs, drinks, whatever you want, merchandise, and it kind of gives you a breakdown in some of the games of how the sales are doing, if what you need to be doing differently, how popular your team is, and it's crazy how realistic it is. They have the numbers pretty close to what they are in real life, so the figures are around the same. Now, the thing that impresses me the most about these games are the thing that NBA 2K, which is basketball, is trying out. It's kind of more like it's like where players can meet with you and you have to decide how you want to go about it. So here in this screenshot I have is about a basketball player that's asking about another player on the team and if he can play with them. And you can, it prompts you with avenues that you can go down. And it is incredible. I think it's fantastic that they have this feature, and you can either make them angry or you can make them happy, or they're going to complain and complain. And it's so much like real life. Obviously, this is as close as you can basically get without being there in real life. And it has an effect on their performance in the games. It's crazy stuff. Now, I'm also going to point out you can build the stadiums. I just wanted to show you what their stadium design is. They kind of go in depth. They have the futuristic stadium, as you can see. They have 4 other options, and this is just for the football one. Basketball, you can also make your own arena and things like that. So these give me full control of how I want to manage my team and take them ultimately to a championship is the goal. Even though it's not real, we can always stream, right? Not only do I enjoy playing the game itself, but there's another added benefit to playing these games. I have the capability to talk to up to 8 of my friends using what is called a party chat. It's a great way for all of us to talk about the games we're playing, trash talking, or just talking about things in real life. It keeps me connected with some of my friends that I've kind of met at college, and it's hard when you go home. You're a long ways away from some of them, so it's a great way for me to stay connected, and we can kind of bond over these video games. And there are also people that I've met through the video games, not in real life, but on the video games, that I've made great friends with, and one day I hope to meet them. And I just think it's such a great thing for me, and you get to really work on your social skills, even though you can't see them in real life. But I think it's a lot of fun. Now I'm going to move on to a class concept, and the first thing I'm going to talk about is flow. When I play these video games, I experience flow heavily. Okay, I don't realize time is passing by when I'm playing these games. I mean, I could start playing at 1 in the afternoon and all of a sudden it's 5 p.m. The time just goes by so quickly. Now, I don't know where it goes. I really have no idea where it goes, and it kind of gives my conscious mind a break. All I'm focused on is the video game, and that's it. But it's a great feeling to have. Now, another topic that also applies to this is money and leisure. Now, for this leisure activity, it can be pretty expensive. The video game console I play on costs about $300, and each sports video game I buy, which I currently have 3 of them, is $60 a piece. Now, there's also a fee on top of this that is $60 per year to use the online servers, which it's quite a bit, but for me, it's all worth it. It is all worth it. Now, I feel like this could be a bigger phenomenon if it was cheaper. I mean, you'd be able to get so many other types of kids and people doing this if it was a lot cheaper. But it's somewhat restrictive in that aspect because of the cost and the accessibility for people all around the world. But I think that this will eventually grow to one point where the biggest stars in the video game community could become celebrities. That's already kind of happening right now. And I just think that's where it's going because kids of this generation, I've noticed, idolize the people that they watch on YouTube with their gameplay. My little brother, for example, watches YouTubers all the time instead of watching, normal TV programming. Now, the final concept I want to talk about is time and leisure. Time is something that I find valuable, and I'm one of those people that believes that you can waste your time, but I think in our lives we really need to treat ourselves to a leisure activity. It's good to get out of the grind and routine by refreshing ourselves and doing something that we love. This helps us refocus and makes our responsibilities easier. I think it's not a mindless activity for me when I play these games because I have to be sharp and thinking about what I'm doing, essentially. Now I'd like to compare and contrast real life sports versus virtual sports. Now the main difference between the two of them are that real life sports conditions your body and makes you a healthier individual, while virtual sports, on the other hand, could do the exact opposite. And that's only because of the nature of what you're doing. You're only required to move your fingers during virtual sports. Another difference is that you have a coach for the real life sports, where in virtual sports you have to kind of figure it out. They kind of have help menus to help you figure it out, which is good. But that's just another thing that is kind of a main difference. Now, something that's similar is you have to strategize with both of them. In real life, you have to strategize against the opponent, and also in virtual sports, because the game kind of codes for real life situations where you would have in real sports. It tries to get it as close as it can. Another thing you have in common is that you can both play a human opponent. Even though there are options to play artificial intelligence, you can play a human opponent, which would be just like in real life. You're playing another human, and you're using your knowledge and see who could come out on top. Now, I think that the last thing is kind of important also is that that's similar is that you can practice and practice, and that makes you better, and that's just kind of how it is in real life. If you get practice and practice, you get better, and the same is for both of them. Now, after this presentation, I hope you've acquired knowledge of this growing leisure activity. Today I've discussed how in-depth sports games can be, the capability of sports, why it's leisure to me, the similarities and differences between real and virtual games. Plus, I've also addressed the class concepts that we've talked about throughout the semester here about the money, flow, and time. And I hope one day you're willing to try out a virtual sport game because you might find it to be a leisure activity. If you try them and you're not a fan, that's okay, because there's thousands of other leisurely activities that are free or are paid, so for you to try. Thank you for listening to the presentation. Thank you.